This poacher thinks he's lucky, but as good a shot as he may be, he won't kill this elk. This hunter just became the hunted. This woman is out to stop drug dealers, but she doesn't use a gun. She uses a more powerful weapon, a lawsuit. And here's a businessman with his head in the clouds. Take a ride with one of the world's best stunt pilots. Hello, I'm Banmiller, and this is our look at how to make money and make sure no one steals it. Hunting is big business in this country, but it depends on a strong supply of animals. That's why wildlife officials restrict where and when hunters can hunt, and why they've gotten so innovative in stopping hunters who take animals illegally. The trick is to turn the illegal hunter into the hunted. This man is an animal poacher trying to make an easy kill from the highway. With adrenaline pumping, he's too excited to worry about safety hazards or the financial impact of illegally shooting animals from the road. Now game wardens have come up with a bizarre operation they say will help prevent hunters from taking cheap shots at nature.
Okay, coming down.
The operation begins at 3 a.m. in the Siuslaw National Forest. Guided by flashlights, a dozen Oregon State game wardens are lugging this massive stuffed elk up a hill next to a remote highway. Each man must bear his load.
Hold it, Steve. We're not helping you there.
Put it under its butt.
Well,
Here. I knew you guys weren't packing your weight.
This lifeless decoy will soon taunt hungry roadside shooters. With the elk standing sturdy, the game wardens split up and head to their highway posts. This camouflaged warden hides himself behind trees and brush, talking by radio to officers in chase cars down the road. He lies in wait for poachers or overexcited hunters who break laws against roadside shooting to take aim at the decoy elk. And it doesn't take long.
Got blue jeans, red sweatshirt. He's walking down the road right now. Yeah, he's right out in the traffic lane right now. You might as well come on down.
But why would the hunter shoot a fourth time after the police drive up?
He just put the gun back in the truck and shot a hole right through the roof of the truck from inside the vehicle. The driver did.
Oops.
Wardens hand him a ticket, and the hunter finally understands. Safety's a problem.
Well, I guess somebody else could be driving by on the road or something.
The excitement of the hunt often distorts good sense.
Their eyes kind of glaze over at times, you know, seeing an animal that big.
That's what happened to this hunter's eyes when he shot at the elk from a road above the main highway.
I've been hunting for almost 20 years, and I'd never hunted elk in my life. And then when I saw a huge bull, you know, because I haven't even seen one in the wild other than cows. So, boy, this has taught me a lesson, I'll tell you that right now.
Back on the highway, a school bus drives by.
You have a lot of traffic, and you have a good chance for somebody either getting struck by a bullet from a hunter or being involved in a traffic accident.
But safety isn't the only issue. Often, unlicensed hunters, called poachers, shoot at animals and reduce their population. That leaves less prey for legal hunters, and the economic impact is widespread.
There's less people that buy tags, hunting licenses, sporting goods, and it has an effect not only on the economy of the small businesses that sell rifles, ammunition, hunting gear, camping gear.
This man was a poacher with no license to hunt. Officers arrest him for other warrants. His car is towed, his gun seized. All that's left is his friend holding his dog's leash with a long walk ahead of him. As word of these decoy traps get around, hunters like this one will think twice before shooting.
No. What? Remember? Oh, shoot off the road. If you get that guy, we get a hell of a fine, remember? Get the fuck off the road. You go and move.
Many poachers are now savvy to the motionless decoy and won't shoot until they see the animal move. So, to keep one step ahead, state game wardens are now developing mechanical deer and elk designed to twitch an eye or an ear to outsmart the most experienced poachers. Usually they're young, tough, and armed to the teeth. They're your neighborhood drug dealers. And in many American cities, they're taking over the neighborhood. So how do you stop them? Leslie Griffith joins us now with the story of one woman who found a way.
Yes, she did. There's one group that says landlords who rent houses to drug dealers are the key to stopping the neighborhood drug trade. They are suing landlords to get them to clean up their buildings. Molly Wexler and her bodyguard for the night are on a dangerous mission in a neighborhood overrun by drug dealers. Molly needs to get into this apartment building to meet with frightened tenants who say they're hostages to alleged drug dealers inside. A tenant buzzes them in, but listen closely as a suspected drug dealer tries to challenge their entry.
There we go. Simpson.
As you can see, they just tried to lock us out. Inside the doorway, matches, residents say, used to smoke crack cocaine lie everywhere, as well as empty bags the residents say used to hold drugs.
Brothers against brothers. They're all shooting down each other. Man, that's the story.
She runs Safe Streets, a community group that takes a business-like approach to fighting drug dealers.
Instead of using guns, courts, and prisons, we look at this as more as a property management issue. We decided to step back and look at it as a business, like any business.
She goes after landlords that rent to drug dealers. If the property owners won't evict the dealers, she sues them in court. She is meeting with a group of tenants here because a drug-related shooting the night before has them panicked.
I was going to the store to get some hot dog buns. The next thing I know, two dudes was arguing, and the next thing I know, he pulled out a gun and just started shooting like this.
They were shooting in the parking lot of my building, okay? All of a sudden, I heard the first round of shots go off, and the first thing that came to my head was my son.
Well, we're hostages. We're hostages in this building.
They want their building back, so they have asked Safe Streets to sue their landlord. Tonight, Molly is taking the first steps towards suing the landlord. She collects diaries residents keep, a long list of drug-related incidents they say the landlords ignore.
We've got the activity log. We've made our demand letter. We're going to go serve that property owner with a demand letter to demand that she abate the drugs within 4 days, or every man, woman, and child in this building will individually sue her for $5,000 apiece in small claims court.
Are you ready to proceed today?
Safe Streets has already sued these landlords who run another building. The complaint? Renting to drug dealers and failing to evict them. This landlord's attorney says it's not fair.
If there were illegal activity, he did not know about it. He was not informed of it.
Still, that landlord has since emptied this apartment building of suspected drug dealers and settled the suit for $23,000. It's the third such house in the neighborhood that Molly has shut down, and the children notice the difference.
Quieter, not a lot of people on the streets. You don't hear a lot of cars and guns. I could play outside longer instead of having the gangs coming out and I have to go in the house.
Meanwhile, Molly is still hunting down the landlord of that first apartment to serve her legal papers.
Yes? We'd like to talk to you about your apartment.
Where are you?
We're in the lobby.
In the lobby?
Yes.
In the apartment?
Yes.
Oh, I just got home. I haven't had my dinner yet.
It'll only take 5 minutes.
When the landlord learns she's in the lobby, she hangs up.
Well, we didn't get her tonight, but I'm going to get her. Safe Streets will not stop.
The owner of the apartment complex declined our request for an on-camera interview, fearing retribution from drug dealers, but later she did settle with tenants for almost $9,000.
Brian.
Isn't it amazing what one woman with a strong will can do?
Yes, it really is.
Thanks, Les.
You're welcome.
Still ahead, is the cash in your pocket real or fake? Look at funny money that could end up in your hands. And meet a high-flying daredevil whose business is always up in the air. Can you tell if the cash in your pocket is real or fake? High-tech counterfeiters are producing a new breed of funny money that makes it harder to tell what's real and what's not. But as Laura Zimmerman reports, the government is hot on their trail.
This was the end of the road for some big-time moneymakers. A chase lasting more than a half hour, at times reaching speeds faster than 100 miles an hour. Arrested at the scene, 2 men, accused of being part of a very busy counterfeiting ring.
We were becoming inundated with it.
This may look like tens of thousands of dollars in cold, hard cash that Secret Service agent Dan Vanneman is pulling out of his top security safe. But he's really pulling out worthless samples of counterfeiters' handiwork.
These are pretty good counterfeit 20s.
Authorities say that suspicious bankers and store owners were turning in $10,000 to $20,000 of these fake bills a week. Money that was turning up everywhere.
Los Angeles, Seattle, St. Louis.
Every day the U.S. Treasury churns out 30 million notes. This stack of 20s alone adds up to more than $5 million. Each bill is a work of art, printed with special paper and special ink, all designed to foil counterfeiters. The government's latest offense, a polyester thread ingrained in the bill. And presidents' portraits will be encircled with tiny lettering, discernible only under magnification that says United States of America. Both methods cannot be reproduced, even by the latest high-tech copiers.
Bean and rice.
Still, merchants and the public need to be careful. Banks won't accept fake bills. They instead turn them over to authorities. Store clerk Armando Berber was once the victim of a counterfeiter and now knows how to detect a fake.
A lot of people say by the feel of it, but it's not really the feel of it. The more and more you look at it, it turns fake.
But does the public take time to check?
Most people probably do not look at their currency at all. I mean, the average citizen, I would realize, they never would take a look at their money. I mean, you take it in good faith, say, oh, this is a genuine whatever. As an agent, I think I know I always do. I always look at my money, but then that's my business.
I'm Laura Zimmerman for On the Money.
So how can you tell if a bill is fake? The portrait on a real bill should look 3D, not flat. And real bills have red and blue fibers. Many counterfeit bills do not. And the lines in the portrait background are supposed to form squares. If it's fake, some of the squares may be filled in or missing. So check your cash. Funny money isn't so funny if it's yours. Attaining American success often involves taking some risks. But we met a guy who's discovered success by taking risks to new heights.
There goes a businessman who really does fly by the seat of his pants.
My job is to make people happy. I dance in the sky, I thrill them, I try not to scare myself, and there's tremendous marketing value here.
Shawn Tucker is a modern-day daredevil, one of a rare breed of thrill seekers who makes a living getting high. He's dazzled more than 6 million awestruck spectators with his sky-high loop-de-loops, barrel rolls, nosedives, and rapid climbs. Tucker's trade is defying gravity at air shows all over America.
This is the 4th of July, and Top Gun all rolled into one, and this is just great drama. I was made to do this job. It's very dramatic, it's very challenging, and it's very rewarding.
Tucker's flying career first took off when he started dusting crops 12 years ago. But he soon turned in those wings for a spin at aerobatics in the sky. The lure of performing death-defying feats before huge crowds was just too big a thrill to pass up.
I'm a dancer. I love sharing my soul through my flying with the audience.
He flies by day like a hawk, and by night like a dove.
Daytime flying, it's down and dirty, aggressive, let's go get them, create a lot of drama, it's a lot of hard work. Nighttime flying is graceful. It celebrates the joy of flight.
At night, Shawn's plane takes on the glittery look of an earthbound comet, leaving twin trails of golden sparks behind him.
While I'm flying the maneuvers, I look over my shoulder and I can see this 300 to 500 foot long stream of fireworks coming off, and it's magical for me too. The kids think I'm riding with Tinkerbell.
But defying gravity up in the clouds does not come cheap. Keeping this rig shipshape cost a hefty $65,000 a year. Tucker makes a modest living through his corporate sponsor, Randolph Engineering Sunglasses. He might not be rich, but for him, money isn't everything.
Is rich really what's important in life? I think spiritually rich is absolutely what's important. I feel I was born to be doing this job.
What a job. By the way, air shows are the #2 spectator sport in America, which means Tucker should have plenty of work for as long as he wants to fly. Straight ahead, good news for anyone who's ever ruined a shirt or a dress with a spill. We'll visit a place where great minds are battling the world's toughest stains. Stains are a pain, particularly when they won't come out of your favorite shirt or blouse. But consumer editor Tom Vacar has good news for the stained and spotted of the world. He found an entire research institution where big brains are battling stubborn stains.
So, I got 2 stained shirts, and I washed this one in detergent with bleach built in, and this one in Clorox bleach and my regular detergent. And look, the shirt washed in Clorox bleach is cleaner.
Big claim, but how do they prove it? Clorox, known worldwide for its bleach and cleaning products, has a facility as sophisticated as a rocket lab, as accurate as a Swiss watch plant, and as scientific as a medical research center. But here, they seek the answers that remove the dirts, grimes, icks, goos, and uh-ohs we torture and tarnish our clothes with.
The laundry is a process that people don't give a lot of thought to. They put their clothes in a washing machine and they put them in the dryer and then take them out and don't think about it unless a stain doesn't get out or they don't get as clean as they used to.
Meet Sam, a one-of-a-kind stain application machine. Sam stains countless thousands of various cloth test fabrics, precisely staining them with all manner of common and not so common materials. What used to be hand-done slowly, painstakingly, and not so accurately is now done by Sam in seconds. Once the stain's set and thoroughly dry, another specially designed computer system reads the exact color of each individually numbered test cloth. After each is laundered, any remaining stain will be reread to assure complete accuracy. The laundry process itself is done in standard consumer washing machines, but the water itself is varied to exactly match various kinds of water in different parts of the country. This is the light room, a place where stains on both test cloth and real clothes are evaluated by expert human eyes. Since lighting directly affects stain sighting, this room allows Clorox to simulate any light condition on Earth, indoors or out, including even black light, where stains which are undetectable in normal light stand right out.
Drop.
The lab also checks out individual packages to assure that common household mistakes don't end up all over the floor.
Drop.
But before a package is ever even chosen, it must undergo the closest scrutiny, down to 1/10,000th of an inch to assure that the bottle cap won't leak. Other machines will measure how much impact a pallet full of products will take in a rail yard. And this machine allows the lab to know exactly what a very rough truck ride will do to the things you buy, long before they ever get to your grocer's shelves or your cupboard. I'm consumer editor Tom Vacar, on the money.
Tom says most of the center's top researchers have scientific degrees, yet it's a mixed blessing. Researchers say when they tell people where they work, they end up spending hours solving people's laundry problems. It's kind of like being a doctor at a cocktail party during flu season. We'll be right back, but first a look at the action on Wall Street this week. That's our show for this week. Here are some stories you can look forward to on the next edition of On the Money.
You have permission to come into this office?
Well, that's what we're asking you about.
You'll be in on our visit to this talent company where these young models say they've been misled.
He led me to believe that I would be trying out for a part on Days of Our Lives.
And ripped off.
I feel burned. He just ripped me off. I'm upset about it.
But can they prove it? And we'll take you for a ride that could teach you to save your life.
It was crashed.
On the next edition of On the Money.
We hope you'll join us. If you have any story ideas or comments, we'd like to hear from you. Our address is On the Money, Post Office Box 22222, Oakland, California 94623. Again, that's On the Money, Post Office Box 22222, Oakland, California 94623. And that's our show for this week. For all of us here at On the Money, I'm Brian Banmiller. May all your business ventures be successful. Goodbye.
Help bring some of the country's most wanted fugitives to justice. Prime Suspect is coming up next here on Channel 2.